What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be looking at 3 of the most underrated teams that you should pick to make a run in this year's March Madness tournament. The first team I'm looking at is the Iowa Hawkeyes. Iowa has started to heat up at exactly the right time of the year. They are currently on a 4-game winning streak coming off their Big Ten tournament run, and they have also won 9 out of their last 10 games. They're one of the hottest teams in college basketball right now, and they're going to be a really tough team for anybody to face. They have a super solid team, but their best player is definitely Keegan Murray. Keegan Murray is one of the best players in college basketball right now, and he's able to do a little bit of everything for Iowa. So far this year, he's been averaging 23 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 blocks per game. He can score with the best of them in the paint, and he also has an amazing jump shot and three-pointer to go along with it. He's one of the most complete players in his class, and he has the ability to lead Iowa really far in the tournament. And surrounded by Murray, they have a bunch of really good guards that are great shooters. Since they're such a good three-point shooting team, they really can score along with the best of any teams. When Iowa's playing the best that they can, they're a really, really good team. And coming off of all those wins, they're playing with a lot of confidence, and they're one of the best teams in college basketball. In my opinion, I think Iowa has one of the biggest chances to make a run in this year's tournament, and I could see them making it to about the Final Four. The first team that Iowa is playing is Richmond, and even though I do think Richmond is a very good team, I don't think they'll be able to keep up with Iowa. With Iowa having such a high-powered offense, I don't see Richmond being able to keep up with scoring with them. I think the best 2 teams in the Midwest side of the bracket is either Iowa or Kansas. So I think that both of these teams will end up making it to the Sweet 16 round, and that whoever wins that matchup will end up going to the Final Four. Now, Kansas is definitely a very good team, so that's going to be a hard matchup for Iowa, but when Iowa's scoring as well as they can, they're a really hard team to beat, and I could see them winning that game. Either way, I definitely think they'll make it to at least the Sweet 16, or maybe even farther, and they're a sleeper team that you guys should definitely choose to make a run. The next team that I think can make a big run in the tournament is Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech has a 23-12 record, and they're also on a 4-game winning streak. They're also another team heating up at the right time of the year. During the ACC tournament, they showed everybody why they're such a great team by absolutely destroying Duke. While watching that game, you could tell they have a lot of guys that can step up, and they're a super complete team. Even though Hunter Couture had 30 points that game, they had a bunch of guys that stepped up and contributed in a lot of ways. Right now, their leading scorer this year has been Keeve Alumu, and he has been leading them with 15 points per game. But really, what makes Virginia Tech such a good team is how well they play together, and right now they're playing just about as well as they can together. And before the ACC tournament, Virginia Tech wasn't supposed to be in March Madness, but they've really stepped up and showed why they're such a good team. And with Virginia Tech on such a great run recently, I think they can make it to at least the Elite 8 or maybe even the Final Four. In their first game, they played Texas, which I think is a really great matchup for them. Texas is a good team, but they're on a 3-game losing streak, and they just haven't been playing as good as Virginia Tech. So I think they'll be able to pull off the upset and beat Texas. In the east side of the bracket, I think Virginia Tech is a top 4 team, along with Purdue, Baylor, and Kentucky. So ultimately, I think one of those 4 teams will be the ones that make it to the Final Four in that side of the bracket. And I think Virginia Tech has really good odds of making it to the Final Four because they're playing with a lot of confidence and they're one of the best teams right now. And from what I've noticed, one of the best ways to tell if a team's going to do well is by how they've been playing recently. And obviously, coming off the ACC tournament run, Virginia Tech is looking like one of the best teams in college basketball. The third and final underrated team I'm going to be looking at is TCU. TCU is 20-12, and they've been one of the most underrated teams all year. And they've had some really good wins this year, beating Kansas, Texas Tech, and Texas. And with them playing in the Big 12, they're playing in one of the best conferences where they're getting challenged every game. TCU is another really complete team that has a lot of guys that help contribute. But I think their best player is definitely Mike Miles. Miles has been leading TCU in scoring with 15 points per game and also averages 3 assists and 3 rebounds per game. In the first round of the tournament, TCU will be playing Seton Hall. In my bracket, I'm definitely going to pick TCU to upset Seton Hall. And then in the second round of the tournament, they would most likely be playing Arizona. And I really think Arizona is one of the best teams in the bracket this year, if not the best. But I think if anybody has a chance to upset Arizona, TCU definitely does. If they do end up meeting in the second round, I think it'll be a really exciting game to watch, and it'll really come down to the wire. And I think if any number 9 seed has a chance of upsetting a number 1 seed in the second round, it's definitely TCU. The Horned Frogs are a really athletic team, and they kind of play exactly like Arizona. So I think they would match up really well with them, and they have a chance of taking them down. At the end of the game, I think it'll come down to the last possession, and it'll really just matter about who has the last shot. But like I said, if you're looking to make a little bit of a different pick in your bracket, I think TCU is a really good team to pick. So far this year, they've shown they're a really good team, and I think they're ready to make a run in the tournament. So when picking your bracket, you should definitely consider TCU as a contender. So that'll do it for my 3 sleepers in this year's March Madness tournament. I appreciate you if you watched the video this far, and please make sure to leave a comment about who your sleeper teams are, and also who you think will win the tournament this year. Well, thanks for watching, and please make sure to subscribe.